Hi, I'm Nicole A. Oh my god, not the old YouTube intro. Hi, I'm Nicole PW and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today, guys, I am doing. Can you see my bra? Sorry, it's not striptease. Today I'm doing a video on secondary school advice, story times, and there was something else. Advice, story times, I don't know, through the years, let's just say that. I actually got the notes app up on my phone because I needed to make notes. You know, I was in secondary school for 5 years and I ended secondary school 3 years ago, nearly 4. So, you know, there is a lot to unpack. So, let's get into it. So, year 7, for those of you who don't know, I went to an all-girls secondary school called Eltham Hill. I went to Eltham Hill from 2015 to 2020. And the thing is about my secondary school, because I get asked about it a lot, when people ask me where's Eltham Hill, because apparently some people don't know where it is, it's in Eltham on a hill. That's actually the only definition that I can give you about where my secondary school is. It's in Eltham and on a hill. So the years before me, like the year groups before me and the year groups after me, were very white. I'm gonna be straight up. They were very white, and then obviously I don't know what happened. There were an influx of kids. Apparently my year group and the year below, so all schools in Greenwich, because Eltham is in Greenwich for those of you who don't know, all the schools in Greenwich had to put out their catchment area a lot further. So whereas Eltham, it would mostly be people from Kidbrooke, Eltham, New Eltham, Sidcup area, which is predominantly white, they then had to take kids in from Woolwich, West Thamesmead, Plumstead, Lewisham, Catford, and that's how, you know, the majority of the black people got into Eltham Hill. They were just accepting everyone willy-nilly. Our year group was the biggest year group they'd ever had because we had to have 2 extra forms. So the forms were ELTHAMGS, so Eltham GS Girls School. And we were split into 2 sides. We had X side and we had Y side. So let me start off. So year 7 was interesting for me. Obviously, I've always had main character syndrome. I feel like I've been able to deal with it a lot better the older that I've gotten. But guys, in year 7, it was bad. It was really bad. I just thought that I was that bitch, you know, hot girl fat buns from day. But the way I went about it, I was just horrible. Like, when I think about some of my behaviour back in secondary school, year 7 specifically, it makes me feel sick. I'm genuinely embarrassed by my own behaviour. Like, it was disgraceful. So I didn't realise how strict the Eltham Hill uniform is, and the uniform is incredibly strict. So me and my mum beefed for years and years and years because she would not let me get my ears pierced. She said, you can get your ears pierced for going into year 7. So the whole of the summer, all I was looking forward to is getting my ears pierced. So she took me to Claire's and Bromley. When I got my ears pierced, you know how the things are already. Obviously, I come into the first day of year 7. So this is like 2 days before I start. So I come into the first day of year 7. I'm being told that no jewelry is allowed in the school uniform policy. So the school uniform policy was no white or coloured socks, not even white socks with branding on it. So not even like an Adidas logo or a Nike logo. Only black and navy blue backpacks. No what they used to call fashion bags, which is handbags. No handbags until you're in year 10. No makeup at all until you're in year 10. No jewelry at all until ever. Sorry, no jewelry at all ever. What else was there? Skirt had to be a certain length, but no one listened to that. Scarves had to be navy blue, not even black. They had to be navy blue. No nail polish. No false nails, no eyelashes, nothing like that at all. They were just super duper strict for no reason. We even had to wear a school coat, guys. We had to wear a school coat. If you had a coat and it was freezing, it could be snowing, it could be raining outside, if it was not the school coat, they would confiscate it from you guys. I swear to God, you couldn't come to school without your blazer or you'd be checked. We also weren't allowed to wear coats in the building, which made zero sense. Even if it was pissing freezing, it made zero sense. So obviously the uniform policy was really strict. First day I've come in with earrings. My form tutor, this lady, she took me in the room and she said, I'm gonna have to get you to take those earrings out. I didn't know nothing about earrings. I didn't know a single thing about it. I didn't know how to take earrings out. Now I have 11 piercings and that's my speciality. But back then, I barely had the 2. She takes out my freshly pierced ears, guys. She takes the earrings out of my freshly pierced ears without disinfecting her hand or washing her hand on anything. And obviously they got infected and I actually gave up with them. I let them close up. We also weren't allowed to wear any accessories, like so headbands or like hair bows that weren't black or navy blue. So obviously for someone who likes to express themselves a lot, it was really draining. But back to me being that bitch. Can I say that on YouTube? I don't know. Back to me being that girl. I obviously had an attitude where I was like, no one can have chat for me. Still to this day, I have the same attitude that no one can have chat for me, but I don't need to vocalize it because everyone already knows. Yeah, everyone already knows. But back then, I felt the need to vocalize it and just be mean and wicked for no reason. I went into the school knowing a large amount of people that were going to be in the school. So I knew them from, I went to 2 primary schools, so I knew them from my first primary, my second primary, my nursery, my dance classes, friends of friends, like mutuals. Like there were just a lot of people that I knew. So the first form that I was in was 7L, and 7L was different. 7L was different. So I was in a friendship group with my closest friend, one of my closest friends. Our family was close, our parents were close. She was my first ever friend in reception. A girl that had gone to, she went to my first primary, a girl who had gone to my second primary, a girl who had gone to my nursery. Those are the main people that I can remember. And then some other remember for my last story time, I did mention her, but we were kind of all in a friendship group. Let me give you a rundown of all of these people. So obviously the friend from primary, the first friend, she was, you know, we were good, but she was just kind of weird. After I moved primary schools, I just found her behavior really weird. I just found her behavior incredibly weird. I don't know if you guys remember Blacker from the other story time, you know, intertextual links. Obviously she was still very close friends with Blacker. I'm calling her that because her teeth was black, nothing to do with her skin tone, before you guys try and cancel me. Yeah, so I remember she'd just be like, she was the one who was stirring up trouble between me and Blacker from when I moved primary schools, and I just found her behavior very weird sometimes. But you know, I tried to push past it. I could sense jealousy from her a lot of the time. I remember I used all my Christmas money and got myself an iPhone 5C, and she got angry at me and started cussing me out that I was showing off my iPhone 5C. Obviously, we both used to collect Monster High dolls. It was kind of like a competition who could get the most Monster High dolls. She knew that I wanted to beat headphones. She had beat headphones, used to rub it in my face. It was just like a toxic friendship from young. But she was in the friendship group. Then there was this other girl, and she was like, she's Polish, and she came into my second primary school when she was in like, when we were in like year 4, and I became very close friends with her. Her mum was something else. Her mum was different. That's all I'm gonna say. She had her issues going on. Then the other girl, the one that I knew from primary, that I knew from like nursery, she was just a blatant weirdo. Like now she works in Wingstop, innit? She works in Wingstop Bromley, and she saw me, like I went to Wingstop Bromley and she must have been there and the lights were out or whatever, and I was like, what's going on? She's like, oh yeah, we're closed, sorry. I know you know exactly who I am. I know you remember my face. Yeah, I know you remember my face. So don't try and do that. Anyway, I was in this friendship group and we all just thought we were those girls. Like, we were just like, no one can have a chat for us. We are the top of the top of the top. Obviously, we weren't. I was a year 7. I was at what, 12, 11. I just wasn't that girl, but I convinced myself that I was. The same way that you guys see me rant on social media now, I used to do that back in the day as well. I used to have Snapchat rants. This is why I say I haven't changed. I used to have Snapchat rants. So, you know, if anyone had done anything to me or if I had an issue with anything, I would go onto my little Snapchat with like 30 views. I would have to record it on my iPad because my Nokia Lumia could not download Snapchat. And I would rant and rant and rant about the people that like there was no tomorrow. I would just rant and rant and rant and rant and rant. Simply because I could. Simply because nobody was going to stop me. So, we're in this friendship group, and also, she just wanted to be white. And I'm not saying that because of the way she genuinely said that I want to be white. That's genuinely what she said. Anyway, we're in this dysfunctional friendship group, and it was just like very toxic. So I ended up falling out with, you know, the one who I was close with and who was also friends with Blacker, because we used to have arguments and then we used to make up. And once we had an argument and I realized I'm always the one who's reaching out to her when the argument's like trying to settle the argument, and someone said to her, oh, how come you're not going to apologize to Nicole for what you did? And she said, oh, because I know I can do whatever I want to Nicole and she's always going to come back to me. She sounds like my ex. So I was just like, bro, bun you at the end of the day. This is the whole Gulf happens. I don't need none of you people at the end of the day. You lot all need me. You lot's mutual connection with each other is moi. Yeah? There wouldn't be no friendship group if it wasn't for me. So we end up getting into one big massive argument because the Polish girl, I can't even bother to come up with nicknames for these people because they're not going to be relevant. And I'm not coming up with nicknames with everyone that I'm mentioning here. You just got to keep up. So the Polish girl that I knew from my second primary school, she just used to cry about everything. I don't know if it was because of the problems she had going on at home or what, but she was just always crying. And one thing about me, I hate when people are just crying all the time. Like, she'd just be crying, we'd be joking about, and she wouldn't be crying like because she's upset about something. She would cry to try and victimize herself and then like run to the teachers and be like, Nicole's done this, Nicole's done that. So I started distancing myself from her because I was like, at the end of the day, if I'm making you that upset, then you can get out of my face. And then she started being a lot closer with, you know, my ex-friend from my first primary. It's a lot, right? This is all in year 7. We haven't even got into year 8, 9, 10, 11 because it gets worse. So I was just like, these people are just weird. Like, these people are weird. So obviously I do my thing. I go on Snapchat and I rant the things. Non-stop. I'm calling them all cusses and cusses that no 12-year-old girl should be saying, but I was saying it. I was just cussing them out because I was just tired. Like, I was just fed up with these people. And obviously, me, my little entitled self, I just thought I could just do that. So I come into school the next day. These lot have reported me to my head of year. These lot have reported me to my head of year, who then excludes me for 2 days, guys. So I forgot to mention because I forgot to bring this up, so don't mind, I'm editing. So that same head of year, right, me and her had problems throughout the whole of secondary school. At one point, I think this was like year 9 or 10, me and her ended up having big boy beef, and I actually picked up a chair and threw it at her. And they still didn't kick me out or anything. And, you know, obviously this is not a flex, this is really bad, but just for context, I wasn't the best behaved child, right, in secondary school. I wasn't the best behaved child. I was on report like literally every other week. I had beef with half of the teachers in the school. One tip that I can say, please don't do that. I just had a lot of anger, I guess. I don't know, I was just a mess. But you know, if you think it's cool, and I never did it because I thought it was cool, but I know a lot of kids think, you know, it's cool to like get in trouble. I generally just had a lot of anger and I had to get it out somewhere. But one piece of advice that I'm going to give you guys, please just behave. Just get through it. Don't even beef the teachers. They're not even getting paid enough. That is one piece of advice that I want to just insert in here for any of you who think it's cool to beef teachers, because it's not. Have you ever heard of anyone getting excluded in year 7 within the first term? I got walked out the gates, people were gathering around, apparently it was a big deal, and my mum was just like, yeah, I'm banning you from social media for 2 weeks. But here's the kicker of it all. She forgot that she did that. She forgot that she banned me from social media because I had a Nokia Lumia. I couldn't use social media on that phone anyway. I only had a back camera. The only app that would download off of the App Store was Instagram. So I was still doing my TikTok, not even TikTok, my Musical.lys, my little retina post. If you guys remember that retina thing where I used to line the pictures up with those like dusty filters, I was still posing up and doing all of that with my Huaraches, my Air Maxes, just looking cute as I thought I did. And, you know, no one stopped me. I then ended up becoming friends with the girls again. I don't know why I became friends with them after they literally got me excluded. I ended up becoming friends with them again. And then my pastoral manager moved me out of that form in year 7. She moved me out of that form. And she was like, I remember I was really upset and I was in tears, and I can't remember why I ended up falling out with them for good. I really can't remember. Maybe one day we just started to ignore each other, and then it was just it was just beef. I can't remember what it was, but eventually, obviously, I just stopped being that friend. I was really upset to get moved out of the form. So I was on X side originally, and then I went to Y side, which is where I met, you know, some of the friends that I have to this day. So they were just different. They were all like light and bubbly and just nice. So imagine there's 4 forms of 30 girls on each side. I've got to move to this other side. Half of these people, I'd never seen them in my life. My bad. Half of these people, I'd never seen them in my life. So obviously I was like, who the hell are these people? I just thought they were really sneaky. But you know what? They were nice. And I feel like at that time I needed nice. So yeah, then I became friends with them. In year 7, I also had a joint YouTube account with my best friend Blake. That's why I've told you guys I've started YouTube like 3-4 times. So I had a joint YouTube account with my friend Blake, and we just used to post just crud. But I can't remember the password to it. So the videos are still up there apparently. But yeah, so let me see if I've missed out anything else for year 7. Oh, so my advice for year 7 is to obviously relax, just chill. Don't be too full of yourself like I was, because at the end of the day, you need to remember you are 12 going on 13. I had my 13th birthday in Casper's in Catford, actually, because this is before the Lewisham one, before there was an Elton one. It was just cute back in the day. So yeah, that's my advice for year 7. So year 8, I would say year 8 was my best year ever. I loved year 8. Like, I just loved year 8. I don't think there was much wahala. I don't think there was much beef. I think the end of year 8, I started my solo YouTube channel, which was Nicole A, which was the intro that I accidentally just did. And if you try and find the old videos are literally this account but privated. So I tried to do YouTube again. It obviously was just awful. My older sister used to bully me for it. But in year 8, I chose my GCSEs. In our school, they made us choose them in year 8. So I chose my GCSEs. We had like a week trip to Ardèche in the south of France. That was like the best week of my life. Oh, I think in year 7 I went to Germany. Yeah. And then year 8, I went to Ardèche in France for a week. And now, at this point in year 8, I'm in a friendship group with the girls from my new form, and they're just really nice and sweet, and they're just very childish, and I feel like that's what I needed at the time, because I feel like with my first friendship group from year 7, from 7L, they just made me feel really, like, I feel like we were just trying to be grown so bad. And one thing about my new form, like, we were okay with just being kids. We were probably too childish, but we were okay with that. Like, it was just fun. My advice for year 8 is to definitely enjoy the quiet before the storm, because once you get into year 9, they're just going to start hitting you and slapping you and punching you with talk about GCSEs. Which is just not fun at all, and it's not what anyone wants to actually be talking about. So year 8, I was also on my best behavior. I feel like I was just in a good place. Like, I was just happy. So, you know, I wasn't really acting out. I probably did act out, but I just can't remember it. But I wasn't acting out like how I was. Year 9 was one of the worst years of my life. Sorry, I'm tired. Year 9 was probably one of the worst years of my life because I was in a whole friendship group, right? And that friendship group had grown at this point. It was growing, it was growing, it was growing. And there were like probably like 11 or 12 of us in this friendship group. So in year 8, actually, if you guys remember, I can't remember what I called her. But you know the big babe who was in love with me, I did do a story time about it if you've seen it. From the last story time, who just stood there and let that guy punch me up or whatever, not punch me up, strangle me or whatever. What did I nickname her? I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember. But obviously in year 8, she confessed to me. It was year 8, wasn't it? I think in year 8, she confessed to me that she was in love with me. Obviously she's just vile. She's repulsive in her behavior and just everything about her. Even if I was gay, I wouldn't touch her with a 10-meter stick, and I have said that time and time again. She was just grim, and obviously she was one of my closest friends, and her behavior just changed from there. I'm really trying to figure out if that was year 8 or year 9. I really do believe it was year 8, because in year 8 I also then accidentally cut off half of my hair when I was taking out braids. So I had no hair on my head basically. I was just a state, really. I was literally just a mess. So in year 9 I was just butters. I was just so ugly. Obviously I was just disgusting looking. I don't know if you guys realise, but I didn't get no things. Male attention was something that I was starved as, especially in an all-girls school. I got no male attention, and I just, you know, accepted that, you know, I probably wasn't going to get any because I went to a girls' school, but that's just not what it is. That is not what it is. If you're not pulling things, it's just because you're not pulling things. Don't blame the school that you go to for reasons as to why you are not pulling things. Be so for real right now. Be so for real. So, you know, I just wasn't pulling things. I was just ugly. And you know, I've never not been confident, but this is when my skin was super duper bad. I think my skin was quite bad at this time. And it just progressively got worse and worse and worse. Obviously, I wasn't making an effort in my appearance, really, in regards to my skin. I didn't really know about skincare. I can't even remember what I was doing. I was probably washing it with like T-Zone or something, like once a day, and then just calling it a day. So my skin was absolutely awful. The scarring was disgusting. I also have an obsession, still to this day, have an obsession with popping spots. I've limited the obsession and I can fight the temptation now. But back in the day, if there was a spot to be popped, I would be popping it. I would be popping it. Be so for real. I had my first fight in year 9. I had my first physical fight in year 9 with this babe. And I only actually stopped being friends with her last year because she's absolutely disgraceful and doesn't know how to carry herself. But yeah, I had my first physical fight. And it all kind of started because one of my friends thought it would be okay. One of my friends, I loosely use that term, this girl is, she's disgraceful, she's bottom of the barrel. I feel like I'm cussing out a lot of people in this video, and I know I'm probably going to start getting no caller ID calls after this, but I really couldn't give a toss. Tried to take my sausage roll just because her mother doesn't love her enough to put money on her account for her to buy her own one. Tried to teeth my sausage roll. I wasn't having it, and she was like a bully. And the girl that I only stopped being friends with last year, she is a follower to the highest degree, and she always will be a follower. She needs a leader in whatever she does. So, you know, the sausage roll girl was like the leader at the time, who was leading her little group, and she just thought it'd be cute to follow along with her. But then she was also feeding back everything that, you know, she was feeding back everything that they were saying about me to me, without telling them, and then chatting about me to them. So she's just two-timing everyone, like non-stop. So we end up having a physical fight, guys, because she was posting crud about me on social media. Someone must have asked, do you guys remember, oh, what was it called? And you could like swipe up and ask questions. It wasn't YOLO, it was before. It was like Sahara or something like that. And someone was like, who's the most annoying person in your school? She said Nicole. I said bet. It's Nicole, right? It's Nicole, right? So I said to her friend, I said, go and get her for me. I said, go and get your brethren for me. I get her to come and bring her brethren in front of me outside the canteen. I said, why are you... Just recorded the whole video and it cut out. So let me continue where I left off because I'm a soldier. So back to what I was saying. I told her, go get your brethren because me and her need to have a 1-2 word or something. So anyway, I told her, yeah, like, what is it? Like, what's up? And she was like, oh, I said what I said. I said, excuse me? I said, what do you mean you said what you said? I said, why are you chatting about me on socials, but when it's a real life interaction, you can't even make eye contact with me? I said, what's the issue? She said, yeah, but I did say you were the most annoying person because you are. But you're two-timing your friends. If I tell your friends you were two-timing, it's going to be an issue. So she then goes, Nicole, shut up. One thing about me, I don't like being told to shut up. I do not like being told to shut up. So she says, Nicole, shut up. I was like, what did you just say? Before she can even finish her sentence, I boom in her face. Just like that. I boom in her face. The girl drops into the bin and drops onto the floor. I said, yeah, what's up? I was going in for another round. I started getting held back by people. I was like, no, let's tussle it out. Because in secondary school, my thing is like, I know in the real world, I'm not going to fight anyone now. 1, because of repercussions. 2, because it's ghetto. 3, because it's just not worth it. But in secondary school, yes, it was worth it. Because there were no repercussions. So I was like, yeah, let's tussle it out. Cool. Remember Sausage Roll Girl? Sausage Roll Girl comes sprinting around the place and was like, put your hands on me, put your hands on me. Are you stupid? You were sprinting like you were getting paid to be a Usain Bolt impersonator just to come and tell me to hit you. If you're really bad, yeah, if you are really on badness like you say you are, you would have me in my face. And she didn't. So anyway, that was that. Then I became friends with her again, but I just was very wary of her. Like, she was just very strange. So I was in a friendship group. That big friendship group. I can't remember what's been recorded and what's not, so I don't know what you guys know and what you guys don't know. But I was in like a big friendship group at this time, and that same Sausage Roll Girl, we were on the bus, and obviously everyone has their insecurities. In this friendship group, a lot of people were very insecure about their own issues going on. This girl in particular was in love with a girl. Not in love with a girl. She was in love with a boy that I introduced her to because he was from my primary school. And he didn't want her because she acted like Mandam. He didn't want her because of that. That was none of my business. He didn't want her. Then he ended up losing his virginity to her best friend. It was a whole piece of mix-up. So I was just like, yeah, cool, like, whatever. And I'm showing them like an old picture of me, and I'm like, oh my god, like I look like, let's say I look so bad, right? I had an insecurity, everyone knew about it, and I just hated it. Like, I just hated it. And every time I get into an argument with these people, they would use my insecurities against me, even though I would never do that with them. They would use my insecurities against me. So I was just like, yeah, cool, whatever. And I was showing them the picture, and I was like, oh yeah, I look so bad. I'm not going to mention the insecurity because it's none of your business. And then they were like, and then that Sausage Roll Girl was like, you still look bad. And then people started laughing, like my friends started laughing. I was like, one of them suffered with body issues and body odor, but let's not talk about that. And I was thinking, like, you're laughing at this, but if I start bringing up, you know, your insecurities, it's an issue. If I start bringing up how, you know, your parents don't love you, it's an issue. If I start bringing up to you about how no man wants you because you act like one of them, it's an issue. If I start bringing up that you have an overbite and an underbite at the same time, it's an issue. It's an issue. So I was just like, you know, obviously, I started cussing them out. I was just telling them, like, you know, at the end of the day, you're laughing now. I'm going to be laughing when I'm dancing on your grave. I'm already making up the dance routine. That's what I said to them. And obviously, then I walked off, and we used to go to the canteen early to eat. We used to go like 8 o'clock, and school started at 8:30, but the canteen would open at 8 o'clock. So we get there, and you know, they're sitting down around the table, and they're basically going around in circles. They're like, Nicole, we need to talk to you. I started listing all things that I need to change about myself, about my personality. It was a done deal from there, because one thing about me, I ain't got to change shit. Something about me, I ain't gonna change shit about myself for no one ever, because the same personality that they were telling me to change is the same one that has got me into the position that I am in today. Amen. I was just like, you know, I was just so over it. Obviously, I blew up at them, because who the hell do you think you are telling me about myself? And obviously the people who just sat there in silence, even though they didn't say anything, if you sat there in silence and allowed that to happen, that means that you agree with it. So yeah, you're getting cut off too. So I cut them all off. But year 9 was also the year that TikTok came about, if I'm correct, or it could have been the beginning of year 10. TikTok came about, but it was embarrassing to have TikTok, but I completely fell in love with the app. And still to this day, when, you know, I remember that I'm a content creator, because sometimes I forget. When I remember I'm a content creator, I'm thinking, oh my God, like, if you told year 9 Nicole that she was a content creator on this app that she loves so much, I would be in absolute shock. Yeah, life was just dull and awful. They were just sneaky and awful. But yeah, so then year 10, I was kind of stuck in what I like to call like the offspring of that friendship group. So it wasn't everyone who was originally in that friendship group, but it was like kind of the people who weren't really there. The people who weren't really there at the time when everything was going on. So I was still friends with them. And then obviously that nasty girl who told me that she was in love with me, she obviously apologized for what she did. And then we became friends again. But the other ones, I just kind of kept my distance from them. And they are the ones who ended up aiding that guy to strangle me. Fun. So in year 10, I just kind of felt stuck in this friendship group, this kind of offspring of the friendship group. They were very dark and gloomy and just sad. And I just felt like they were really immature and just disgusting. And I just felt like I was meant for more than that. Even though I was still but ugly and disgusting looking, I just knew that I was not meant to be friends with these people anymore. I'd really outgrown them, but I felt stuck because it's not like I was really close friends like that with anybody else. But I just felt stuck. It was just awful. Obviously GCSEs were kind of happening, prep for that, mocks and all of that rubbish. I was never really interested in the academic side of school. I'll be honest, still to this day I'm not, and that is why I'm on my gap year thinking, am I really going to put myself through 3 more years of this voluntarily, paying for it? I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it. I slowly started to drift to a new friendship group, which I wouldn't say were my friendship group for life. I wouldn't say they were my friendship group for life, but I would definitely say they were my friendship group that helped me, you know, kind of come out of my shell. Not that I was ever in a shell, but just to help me feel more confident. They were more grown up, they were more mature, they more wanted to do stuff that, you know, teenage girls actually wanted to do. Like, you know, we would have boy talks, we would like get drunk, pretend I didn't say that, get drunk and just do reckless things that reckless teenagers do. Like, I felt like I was so trapped. I just wanted to break free, and I did break free in not the best way, but I still broke free. So at the end of year 10, I started chilling with them more. The whole summer holiday of year 10, I was with them. And, you know, for my advice for year 9 and 10 is obviously the times where you're finding yourself the most. Some people, it does feed into year 11. For me, it slightly did. It's the time that you're finding yourself the most. But just relax. Take the time to figure yourself out. You're not going to know everything about yourself. You're not going to, you know, be the best looking. You're not going to have the best skin, hair. Not going to know how to dress the best in year 9 and year 10. It's literally time to figure yourself out. You're like, what, 14, 15? Things are not set in stone, babe. Year 11, obviously, that is when I got by that guy. So that friendship group, the excess, they completely got cut off. They were gone. I was not chilling with them anymore. Only the new friendship group. And, you know, I'm still friends with one of the girls from the new friendship group. I've been friends with her from year 7. And I will forever be friends with her. Because she's just very real. But what I'm saying is, you know, we were just doing ratchet rubbish. And year 11 is when I had my, what I call, glow up. Yeah, year 11 is when I had my, what I call, glow up. So I started getting like male attention in year 11. I didn't know how to act. I didn't know how to behave. I was just kind of a mess. I had my first kiss in year 11. Any boy who would move to me, I would hear it, guaranteed, because I was still kind of ugly. But, you know, I was getting in there. I was very low-key. No one really knew who I was. And I was very happy with that. Like, in year 11, I just felt like I really found myself as a person. obviously I was only in year 11 for a few months because it was 2020. Academics, I was not focused on those, but amen to Boris, because you know he sorted that out for me. You know what you did, Boz. BJ, I love you for that. But yeah, so year 11, I did reconcile with like a few old friends that I felt like the first friendship group kind of made me cut off. And I was just in a better place. Like I had better friends, friends that actually wanted to do what teenage girls do, which is all I really wanted. I just wanted to be a teenage girl and be reckless. At the end of year 11, kind of like lockdown times, I was just trying to blow up on TikTok so bad, like real bad. Like I was just making... I'm filming a YouTube video! It's okay. I was just trying to blow up on TikTok so bad. Like it was disgustingly disgraceful. I would wake up, do my makeup, get dressed and start popping some booty hole on the internet. That's just what I was doing. Not literally, you know what I mean, like, you know, what's that dance, like, there's some, like, you've been saying, I like, we're a little bit hurt, call it, cats in here, hey, I go shopping, one day, then I cop it, hey, bitches bopping, I do what it, anyway, that was a dance, that I was doing on repeat. But yeah, so my main thing, I'm trying to think if I left anything out. Me again, you can't really see me, I'm still editing. I did in fact leave out that I had a fight in year 11. So in year 11, I wanted to be a prefect. I had turned my life around. I wanted to be a prefect because they got to wear those cute little badges on their blazer. I don't know, you guys must know what a prefect is, no? So obviously Sausage Roll Girl came back, decided she wanted a tussle after getting the same colour braids as me the day after I got them done. And you know, she was just convinced that she wanted to argue with me and she wanted to fight me. So we did fight. She hit me first. I was attacked technically, but I did not lose. Her and her friends tried to jump me. That was just never going to work. I was boxing left, right, centre. You had burgundy braids flying all around the place because me and her had the same braids. And I did not become a prefect, if you're wondering. But that one was not my fault, to be honest. She attacked me, she wanted smoke, and then she later got her head smashed on the kitchen counter in the food tech room, and had to go to A&E. But yeah, you know, I hope she's good now. My main advice for secondary school, if you are still in secondary school, is this: take time. Take time to grow, take time to appreciate, take time to explore, and take time to make mistakes, because once you leave secondary school, the mistakes you make will follow you forever and you will probably have permanent repercussions because of them. So all the mistakes that you want to make, all the reckless things you want to do it in secondary school. That is maybe not the best advice. Do it within your means. Obviously, don't get killed or anything, God forbid. But, you know, take the time to appreciate your youth and just do teenage stuff. Just do it, because why not? Also, you know, focus on school if that's what you want to do. Focus on school if that's what you want to do. Please do not fail your GCSEs. God forbid. I didn't do that, but I've just seen that it puts people a little further back. Obviously, it's not the end of the world, but it puts people a little further back than what they would have hoped by failing their GCSEs. So there's that. You know, don't be too upset at an ended relationship, at an ended friendship, at a boy who doesn't want to talk to you, at, you know, someone cussing out the way you look, because at the end of the day, it's hot girl fat buns, and when you make it out in the end, they're going to be the ones asking you to follow them back. But yeah, I think that's the end of the video. If you guys liked the video and you want a part 2 on sixth form and how I survived sixth form and what it was like moving from an all-girls school to a mixed sixth form, please let me know, because I will be happy to do that. Also, please like, comment and subscribe. Share the video. You know how to ting set already. Turn on notifications so you can get notified when I post another video. And yeah, Nicole out.